What's up, guys? It's your boy Limo Black. We're here with another video of the T-maxx 2.5, and this is my first start after 3 years. I mean, 3 months. But before we start this, let me tell you everything I did to get it back, because I heard that you guys were commenting that I was making it lean, and then I was killing the engine and whatever. So check this out. I'll tell you everything I did before we start this. So here we got the T-maxx 2.5. The engine, this engine is so small and fast and awesome. This engine is so small that it's ridiculous of how hot it gets in the winter. It turns on instantly and gets very lean on a rich setting, even like 30 or 20 degrees outside. This engine is actually pretty good. So let's talk about what I did. So I had a problem with braking. When I would brake it, braking, when I brake it, it doesn't brake at all. And it would only like slow down as soon as I get to the end of a block, which is ridiculous. So let me show you everything I did. So let's start by opening up the transmission, and you see this little gear right here, the spur, I think, that's on this little shaft. I think there's like a pin that goes in there. I put it back in, so that's one thing. Also, another thing is the linkages. I took an Allen key, I unscrewed this off, and I made the brakes. I slided it down so it would be shorter and easier to brake the engine. braking. And you see that? And I just tightened everything on it and made things shorter. As for the settings, the high-speed needle was already rich to the bone, like nothing's funny. So I richened the low speed and the idle needle. I didn't really know what they did. I knew that they regulated the low speed and idle needle, but what I didn't know is if you open the gap while driving this, it'll actually calm down the fact that it's running without me hitting the trigger on the finger. So right now, the only thing I tested it on wheels, but I have not tested it without wheels. So we can start this up right now. Like I said, sorry, I've actually kept my glow igniter charged overnight by accident, and for the first time it's actually got pretty warm, but hey, at least it's not melting. So super hot shot Habaco. So we're gonna start by turning on the controller, which I already did, and turn on that. See, everything's working. If you want to make sure that your controller is really dead, you can start turning the wheel and the controller at the same time, and you'll see if things start to get laggy. So anyway, we are gonna put this in just like that. Just gonna put that down just like that. Gonna put it in just like that. I'm gonna start it really quick because it's a pretty dumb idea to start it in the house, but everybody's asleep and I'm in like 3 floors under them. So anyway, check it. So as you can see, is definitely better. It's braking now. At first, this would not stop. And the thing is, the idle is still a little bit too high, so we'll turn that rich a little bit. But let me just tell you that these .15 engines are ridiculously awesome. You understand? Because when you're getting not just a 2.5 Traxxas engine, but if you get a small engine like this, you can actually, and I'm serious, you can actually overheat these engines in the winter, which is ridiculous. I actually like that, because if you just give it a really, really rich setting, just like how I did, you can actually run these in the winter perfectly as long as there's no snow. So you know what? The T-maxx is pretty awesome. Now, I apologize for the videos I made when I was really lean. When it was really lean, to be honest with you, I was actually scared of nitro engines as I first started doing this. And I thought if I changed the setting on the tune, I would just destroy everything, but no. That was like 4 months ago. Yada yada yada, blah blah blah. You see what I'm doing now. I'm giving you facts. So your number one goal is, if you have a little .15 or .18 engine right now, instead of racing a big 1/8 scale, you can be racing a little 1/10 scale in the winter. Forget about your big block engines and use the small block ones, because the small block ones work much better and are way much faster. They're just not used for driving. But you see, this is a 2-speed, so you can't really put this up against 1/8 scale Mugen, Lucy, or whatever. In fact, you can probably turn this into a truggy. But anyway, back to the engine. These little engines are great as long as you take care of it. When you're getting a Traxxas vehicle, you have to really take care of it, because Traxxas makes it really simple for you to use your cars. And if you just start fiddling and messing up everything the way I did in my old videos, then you would just, you don't even know what you're doing. So anyway, so if you're ever having this problem, the thing you can do is, instead of doing all the, when you call customer support and they say that there's a little pin inside of the shaft of the 2-speed transmission, you don't even need to go through all that, but they're making it do it the hard way. But the way I did it was, you can, and use your brain too, shorten up the braking and let this go in a little bit. The brake part go in a little bit. You gotta think about it, because maybe it's making it hard to brake because this was way too far out, and it's just too far out, and it's making the whole entire rod bend or something. So you don't need to even do anything to the gas one. The throttle linkage, it's the braking linkage. And remember, as for always, subscribe and like, and maybe we'll actually run this. And you have to remember never to drive while you're in second gear. But thank God the idle was so high that it couldn't even shift backwards. So I was literally running my car with the in reverse going forwards. But if your idle is too high, it won't even shift backwards, so you won't have a problem, but just do it the right way.